Hello, everyone. This is Bill Stevens, and welcome to the live stream on the Music Educator Live. Today's a little different, as you may be able to tell. Today, we're doing something completely different. It's a Friday night, and we're going to go ahead and do something a little beyond what's just musical. Today, we're going to go ahead and do a little fundraising. We're going to try to donate and support Save the Children charity. And we'll talk more about this, but it is really life changing for these people. And to support them, I'm doing a 5-mile walk. And you might be wondering, how am I doing a 5-mile walk? Well, I'm doing this on a desktop treadmill. And at this speed, I'm going to be on here for quite some time. So I'm going to speed it up just a tad. So one of the great needs nowadays, we have so many wars going on, so many children and families just completely without a home, can barely eat. And that's one of the reasons why I thought, you know what, let's do something for someone else. Let's go ahead and try to support. So if you can support, do. I mean, $1, 50 cents, $10 more. The goal is $150 tonight. So maybe that's big. I don't know. Maybe I have to walk a little longer. But check it out. If you can support Save the Children charity, go ahead and just click the link to check out the QR code. Right now, we are already out of 150. We have a $10 donation. Wow, that's kind of early too. Awesome. And so let me tell you a little bit about this charity here. So Save the Children is an international charity that does a lot of things, okay? Currently, some of the things that they are supporting are the war in Gaza, helping to help shelter people. They're also trying to help people in Turkey, in Syria after the big earthquakes. And they're also trying to help with the Ukraine battle, war, I guess you would say. So if you can, please check it out. Literally 50 cents, $1, anything would be helpful. All you got to do is go to the link at the bottom of your screen, or you can take a picture of this QR code and it'll take you to a page. And I'll take you to that in 1 second. I have to get used to walking and doing this at the same time. But let me see if I can get the page that you would come to. I think this is it. This is not it. It's all right. So if you click this link, it should bring you to a page that looks something like this. And it's really pretty simple. You just click this button and say, donate to Bill's goal. And really, it's everybody's goal, right? Helping the children, supporting them. Just go ahead and click that. We have $10 raised. We're searching for 150. Hopefully, over the time of me walking 5 miles, we can make that happen. In fact, I plan to donate some as well, in addition to the 5 miles. So please, if you have the opportunity, please do so. In the meantime, let's talk a little music ed. Let's talk about what's happening in the world. So let's get this link up here real quick. And here we go. By the way, if you're up at this time of night and you want to be part of the conversation, just go ahead and type in the chat. Love to talk to you. Doesn't matter if you're on the Facebook platform, LinkedIn, or YouTube. All right, I'll try to get to anybody that responds because we want to help these people. We want to help these kids. Okay, without kids, we'd have no one to teach to, except for the adults, and they were kids at one point. So they don't know what's going on, or at least very little. All they know is they're suffering. So take this moment, try to donate something, just something. If you can donate $1, donate $1. If you can do 10, do 10. All right. So I'm hearing noises. My treadmill's like, oh no, someone hasn't been on this guy for a while. So right now, just so we can kind of gauge where we're at, out of 5 miles, I started a little early. I've done about 0.4 miles, so I got a ways to go. So if you're on the live stream, go ahead and jump on in. Let's talk some music ed. So what's the big thing that's going on nowadays? Well, it's concert assessment, and it's that time to put our guns on stage with our kids. And again, kids, we need kids. Support this donation, okay? Support this charity. It's great. And I've seen a lot of people, if you're on Facebook, there's a lot of people doing really well this year. This is kind of like that big year where people are coming out of that whole COVID mentality. Okay, we've been out of it for a couple years. You know, people are trying to push the limit, and a lot of people are finding success. Okay, I mean, this is one thing I loved about COVID, and I hate to say it, but it kind of leveled up the playing field. I mean, big bands got smaller, big programs got smaller, little programs probably got a little smaller. So everybody kind of had to rebuild up. Everybody had to work in the trenches. And unfortunately, when life is chaotic, the world is going crazy, we have to rebuild. And this is that time to rebuild and rebuild stronger. So I want to say a whole bunch of my Texas colleagues did really well during their UIL contests. I work in Virginia. We have some of our high school programs have already gone and did quite well. I teach middle school band. I'll be going this next Wednesday, and our younger group will be going Tuesday, so we're excited about that. And then it's, start anew. Okay, quick pep rally after that. Getting kids ready for spring break. Seems like it's a little earlier this year, but we're gonna do some spring breaking, and then we're getting ready for all city concerts or pyramid concerts, depending on what you call them. We also have our spring trips and spring concerts. And it's hard to believe we're almost to the fourth quarter. So we want to go ahead and take a step back and really evaluate the big picture today. If you're coming on, this is my little personal 5-mile walk, trying to support Save the Children charities. And if you can be a part of this process, it'd be amazing. And let's go ahead, let's change up some of our music today. Let's get a little hip hop in. All right, let's change. Let's go to chill hop. All right. So if you're just jumping on, feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're at, where you're coming from. Right now, in Leesburg, Virginia, beautiful place too. If you've ever been in Leesburg, it's probably about 30, maybe 40 minutes from DC. Probably well, okay, you have traffic. We're in Northern Virginia, so beautiful place. Big time historic locations. Uh, Everybody's just so nice, so nice. So love Leesburg. Lived out here for about 5 years. Some people might have heard of Loudoun County. That's where Leesburg is, right next to Fairfax County, Prince William County, Northern Virginia, next to the nation's capital. Great place, great people, great kids. A lot of different kinds of kids too. And I'll tell you what, I've been around all kinds of kids. Taught in Louisiana, taught in California, taught in Colorado. And you just got all kinds of ethnicities, languages, just cultures. It's great. It's great. So met my wife out here probably about 12, 13 years ago, and fell in love. Got married about 10 years ago. Have a house out here, have a dog, have a family, mother-in-law. Don't have kids yet, though. So we are going to be building on an addition to our house. And then after that, we will be hopefully going for a adoption, maybe fostering, probably fostering and adoption, honestly. So, which actually brings me back to why we're here today. Here to support Save the Children charity, because there's so many children that are in need. So again, we're at $10, and we're just trying to inch by inch. We're trying to get to this $150 just to help these kids out. The link is on your screen, but I'm going to see if I can find our page here, and let me refresh this for anybody that's coming on. Okay, and here we go. I can actually show you what we're doing. All right, so I've never actually supported a charity like this before, but I think it's about that time, right? So they're an international group, and they help a lot in the world. So right now, they're helping out in Gaza, helping with supplies, helping with sheltering, helping with just medical care in Gaza. In addition, they're trying to help out with these massive earthquakes that Syria and Turkey have had to deal with. I can only imagine that part of the world is having some challenges. I mean, really, who isn't? Who isn't having challenges, right? And then the devastation, war between Ukraine and Russia. It's probably more like the war from Russia on Ukraine. So trying to help out our allies, but more importantly, trying to help out the people. That's really the big thing. I mean, if we have something, why can't we help them? Seriously, let's help them. Let's make this a better world. In addition, Save the Children Foundation also, I don't want to say they patrol the world, but they're a giving group. Okay, and I wouldn't consider it necessarily a religious group. I just consider it a group that wants the best for the world. And you can have any kind of background to be like that. If you want to help people, be a part of it. when you're in these kind of environments where you just don't have anything, these kind of gifts really do come in handy. So we get to educate. You can buy a tree, fruit tree seedlings, grocery basket for a family. I mean, that's really considerate. I mean, if you don't want to just give money, but you want to know, hey, I'm getting something for someone that can actually practically use, check this out, okay? What else do we have here? I'm going to kind of go back. So where does Save the Children actually work? Well, pretty much, if you see this map, almost everywhere. They're all over the place. A lot of their primary stations are Connecticut. In Washington, D.C., they have all kinds of programs. They work around the world, Africa, Asia, Middle East. They're helping with COVID-19, different areas of the world, Ukraine, as we mentioned before, and even back home. I mean, there's kids, families that just really need help. We got South America, and I have a feeling they're going to be moving even further down into the very bottom of South America. So they're working in Bolivia and Colombia and Venezuela where they're needed. So some of the things they deal with hunger and famine. They deal with the Ukrainian conflict, climate crisis, poverty in America, general health, education. They deal with policy advocacy, and then emergency response. So where they are needed, they will go. Ways you can help is there's the most obvious way you can donate. It can be simple as clicking the link on your screen, clicking in the link in the description. You can fundraise for kids. You personally can do exactly what I'm doing. You can go ahead and say, hey, I want to fundraise for kids. And it goes to this website, and they give you a website. Now, that website is really simple. You can see how much you have earned. Like previously, let me show you again. We're going to see what that website looks like. So that website looks like, I'm going to find it right now. Okay. So that website is popping up now. Looks like this. Okay. Has a donate button. It tells your audience why you're doing this. And it keeps you up to date on how much or how far you are to your goal. Okay. So our goal today is $150. And you know what? Maybe you don't meet it during the time I'm doing this 5-mile walk, which I hope we do. But, maybe it's people that'll watch this, after the fact. Because, I mean, let's get real. It is Friday night. And if you are one of those people that likes to go out on Friday night, which I do, this may not be the first thing you watch, but you'll see this. Okay. And it's not too late to donate. Even $1. All you got to do is visit the link or check out the QR code. So if you want to donate, and it's not just this organization, there's a ton of organizations. Okay. This particular one helps starving children, shelter, medical, education. And here at the Music Educator Live, we're all about education. We're all about children. Without them, Well, one, we don't have a job, but two, I mean, that's who we are. We are a people. And the sooner we treat our world like one people, the more successful we'll be. So if you have questions about this, feel free to comment where you can. Go ahead and press like, subscribe. I won't do this very often. I'll do this on occasion. If this goes well, I would love to do more donations. I mean, think about it. You donate to one of these nonprofit organizations, and you are, one, you can claim it on your taxes. Hey, there you go. There's an immediate personal benefit. But two, you get the intrinsic satisfaction of knowing you're helping out someone. Now, will you know a person's name? I don't know. But you know what? When you do a donation, I'm sure there's a way to find out. So all you got to do is just take that step. This actually kind of reminds me of those those animal commercials where they show all the poor animals, the dogs and the cats and misguided. But it's true. I mean, even the humans. I mean, if we're doing that to animals who are cute, and I'm not saying kids aren't cute, but we got to take care of our own first. We got to take care of our species. We got to stay healthy. We got to continue with this world. And this is one step toward that. Okay, we're going to add on some new music here. Let's just do some nice down-tempo music. Kind of get in the groove on this Friday night. There we go. Taking a nice little stroll. All right. So, if you're just coming in, doing a 5-mile walk, it may take a while because I am not walking super fast, but I'm getting the heart rate up, burning some calories, which, hey, it's a win-win for me, right? I get to try to advertise and support a charity. I get to burn some calories, and I get to talk to you. Yeah, you guys. This is awesome. So take a moment, just relax. Okay? Enjoy this Friday night. Feel free, don't be afraid to say, hey, let's talk. Let's talk about some music. Let's talk about some education. Sure, we can talk about anything, really. Okay, but let's not lose the spirit. We're talking about saving the children. Save the children. And if you think about this, you know, there's a lot of political things happening in the world, right? There's the whole Roe versus Wade thing. And I know personally we want to have kids. May not be in the cards. So if there's a way that we can help in some way, we would like to have the children. It's not like something where you can just go to a store and pick up a kid, right? And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but, you know, we got to protect our future. And you're probably wondering, why did he just say the same thing like 50 times? Well, part of that is because I haven't really planned everything I'm going to say. So if you're ever on stream and you want to check us out when we have interviews, the channel focuses on music education, resources, tips, and tricks. Try to kind of mix it up. I'm a full-time teacher. I teach middle school band and guitar. Love my job, but I do it full-time. So everything I do here is content creation and is You know, I do it when I can, which I enjoy it, so I do jump on it. But I also do a private studio. So if you're ever curious about any of that, half my studio is online. Part of it is live, in person, that is, but also, like I said, online. Kind of like, I guess it was like the transition going from COVID to non-COVID. Some people actually prefer doing things online. Now, there's certainly limitations when you do that, but there's a lot of things you can still learn. So, and it really, stepping back to the COVID situation, I mean, it really made people think, you know, what do I want to do with my life? Sometimes you just get so busy with work that you don't really get a chance to think and reflect on what you really want. Well, fortunately for me, it gave me the idea that, hey, I really like this. Okay. Now, do I enjoy babysitting on occasion? No. Who really does? And really, if a teaching job is babysitting, we should get paid by baby professional or professional babysitters, right? So if you've ever seen these posts that say basically taking one kid, babysitting them for like a day, $60, $80, right? Okay, multiply that by 200 kids a day. Add that by, 10 months? You're making a pretty cool salary of $360,000. That's not too bad. Sadly, I don't know of any teacher in the United States that actually makes that much money. And if they do, kudos to you. You have found one of the sweetest jobs. But even though they say, we need to pay teachers more, which I agree, I do. We work our tails off. A lot of times we do the work that can't be done at home. Okay, which there's a lot of that. But it's also nice because if you want to be a teacher, you get federal holidays. You often get at least two months of school off, unless you're doing summer programs. You get to be social. You get to network. You get to build your safety net. You get to get a lot of times free professional development. Okay, yeah, you may get stressed out because kids tend to do it, and in this kind of world, sometimes you just don't know what's going in their heads, but it's still worth it. So if you ever thought about being a teacher, really take a look. Now, the one thing I would recommend is if you want to be a teacher, you got to ask yourself, do you like people? Because if you don't, you got to find another job. I'm telling you, you're not going to survive in this jungle. But if you like people and you like kids, okay, now, kids can be anywhere from like preschool all the way through, there's adults out here, So you want to make sure you like the age group and you like just interacting. And there are people, especially, again, because of COVID, they got to reflect. There are people that actually prefer to be, for lack of a better word, loners. They want to be by themselves. That's just how it is. And that's okay. There's a lot of jobs that you can do that with. Education, not so much. Not so much. And so those people willing to take on that responsibility, willing to fill that role, to give those long hours, to sacrifice some of their personal life. Education's pretty awesome. Now, the one thing we could probably use, not probably, definitely could use, are people that are great educators and also want to be great administrators and can be and push and continue professional development. And I'm not just talking about policies. Okay, policies, yes. Okay, we got to change policies, but we got to We need relationships. We need follow through. And I think in some cultures, for instance, out where we live in Northern Virginia, if you have a policy and it's legit and it's backed by your superintendent, you really need to follow through. Okay, don't be afraid. And when you're in situations where you're like in city schools, I mean, you have all kinds of different scenarios. But I'm in a city school myself. You have to have that skill if you're going to have a productive school. So, all right, heart rate's coming up. Now I can feel it. Maybe push the speed a little bit here. If you're just coming on, this is a walk-a-thon. It's like a one-person walk-a-thon here to support the Save the Children Foundation. And we're hoping, we're praying to earn $150 for this charitable organization. We hope you can be a part of that. I know I'm going to be a part of that. I know money's tight. Money's always tight. There's always somewhere where money needs to go. But you got $1. And say maybe you don't have $1. Anything you give is going to help a child in need. Okay? You got $30? You can feed a kid in certain countries for literally 3 months. I mean, it's that impactful. And that's what Save the Children try to do. They try to help these kids displaced by poverty, war, sickness, just really bad conditions. So, try to check out my stats on my walk. We'll get there. All right, got almost at a mile. If you're just coming in, my name is Bill Stevens. Nice to make your acquaintance. Okay, so our goal today, with this video, we want to earn $150 from anywhere. Right now we're at $10 on a Friday night. So I don't know how many people are out there on social media, but if you can spare anything, 10, 5, 1, even 50 cents, that makes a difference. So if you're out there and you can see this, let me know what you're doing. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're into. What's your family life like? What's your teaching like? Are you a student of music? What do you play? Do you enjoy what you do? Are you in college? What do you love about college? You love making music? You love studying? Enjoy sports? Hopefully there's all kinds of things you love. Perhaps you're having a rough time right now. Maybe life is just really tough and you need to find a way to make it better. Well, my friend, I'm here for you. We're all here for you. It's not just one person. It's a music educator community. They're amazing. I can't tell you how many times I've posted on social media, asked a question, anything from teaching to music to resources to advice. And then so many people are so willing to share what they have. It's pretty freaking amazing. I don't want to make this sound like a sermon or anything, but I love everything about, well, maybe not everything, but you know what? I love our community. Music educators, music students, just the fact that we have this passion and we have this craft and we work together for the betterment of mankind or womankind or whatever kind you are, because it's 2024. That's what it is, I guess. So, yeah. And like I said, I love being a teacher. I love affecting the lives of my students, my families, my family, shoot, even my dog. It affects all of us. So, on this 5-mile walk, which I am about 1/5 done, I'm here to encourage you to just check out this website on the bottom of your screen. Support Save the Children. It's an international organization. We're just trying to earn 150, but you know what? You can also just chat with me or just watch me move. Got different moves. Don't know how much I can do on a, a desk treadmill though. If I move too much, it might break. It definitely sounds like it needs to be oiled again. But if you're watching right now, thank you. I see one person there. Hey, I don't know who you are, but welcome. And there they go. Okay, I think I scared them away. Anyways, think about one way you can help the world. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be simple actions. It can be a kind word. It can be a smile. It can be all kinds of things. Just a friendly gesture. Maybe opening the door. I mean, shoot, something like that. Maybe you're a teacher, or maybe you're an adult and you have tough kids. Maybe find one of those kids that is tough and focus on improving the life of that one kid. See if there's a transformation. See how you can help that kiddo. I'm sure you can. I'm positive you can. Now, things might not change overnight, I'll tell you that. I know that for sure. But things can change in a positive way if you let them. If you're committed to being a good person, being a mentor in some way or another. Maybe you need to be mentored. So maybe something good for yourself, because you got to look out for yourself too, is maybe finding the kind of people you want to be like. I'm not saying you change completely, but like they say that you never want to be the smartest person in the room. You want to surround yourself with tons of smart people. That brings you up. Okay, so if there's a trait that you want to be or have, find those kind of people you want to be like. Makes it easier. Yeah. So for the record, it is 10:10 p.m. my time, Eastern time, on March 8th, 2024. Just doing a nice little personal walkathon, trying to support Save the Children. Saving, there's so much saving to do. If you can support, even if very simple donation, $1, $2, doesn't matter. Check it out. We're gonna change the groove here. Let's see, let's try minimal house. Wow, what's that? Different kind of music, huh? It's AI music. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. Use the little boy's room. I'm going to keep things going. And let's see if we can get a few donations here. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. If you're just coming in here, my name is Bill Stevens. Welcome to the live stream. We're doing a little walkathon today. Getting some steps in, trying to support a international charity, Save the Children. Hope you can be a part of the program. Just a little help goes a long way. Hope you're doing good on this lovely Friday night. A little chilly here, but it's happening. So if you're coming in, feel free to let me know. Just say hey, see how you're doing. One way or another, I am on this treadmill until I get to 3 miles. Sorry, 5 miles, not 3 miles. I'm not going to try to cheat out of this. Got a little ways to go. So hopefully you all are enjoying this night. Maybe you're home with family. Maybe you're watching me. Who knows? The guy on the treadmill talking about a charity and music education. All right. Pretty awesome field. So, if you've never been on a live stream before, if you've never really watched live streams, typically, if you're watching one and you're not putting any information in, no one knows who you are. Okay? The only way you really get on the screen is if the host gives you a link, a special link to jump on. And they won't do that unless you want to, or they want you to, or it's not like they can force you or anything. But if you're here and you want to say hey, chat's lovely. Stay completely anonymous. Anonymous is kind of fun sometimes. You get to ask the different kind of questions. There's all kinds of questions. All kinds of questions. In fact, you know what? I'm going to ask our AI some questions. I'm going to change what I share with you in 1 second. And we're going to go to the new software from Microsoft called Pilots, which I actually like. I mean, mind you, by the time some people see this may be something that's obsolete. But you know what? I'm desk treadmilling, trying to support a program, talking to Music Ed. We got some cool, funky pictures here too. So let's talk Music Ed. Let me come up with some questions. All right, so I'm just using AI because right now everybody's having fun on Friday night. Maybe they're going to watch this later. Who knows? If you do, you can always put comments, ask, and I'll get notified and I'll answer them then. All right, let's just ask Copilot here. Let's see. Ask 50 questions related to a music student wanting to become a music teacher. I wonder how many interesting or helpful questions we can talk about here. So let's check it out. This is Copilot. It's coming out, pumping out some questions. Maybe we can answer some of them. This is beautiful. And could you imagine brainstorming all this? I mean, it doesn't even matter which field you're in. Let's pump out the questions. You're bound to come across something good here and there. All right, so we just pumped out 50 questions related to a music student interested in becoming a music educator. Didn't say what kind. I didn't say band or orchestra, choir, guitar, general music, all kinds of different music educators. All right, so let's check it out. But let's take a little bit of a water drink real quick. Okay. First question, right? Here we go. What inspired you to want to become a music teacher? Ooh, what inspired me personally? Well, probably my high school band director. I'm sure a lot of people say that. But you know what it really is? It's who you make a relationship with. All right, so I happened to fall in love with music, but that wasn't why I wanted to be a music teacher. I could have been a performer, could have done other things in music, but band director developed, his name was Mr. McQuilkin, Ports Hill High School. He's retired now. Mr. McQuilkin, if you're there, hey, good to see you. Anyways, so building that relationship to really become a music teacher. And, you know, as a music teacher now, I've had students ask me, you know, how do I become a music teacher? And I tell them, but one of the things I do tell them, or at least make sure I say, is I say, one, do you like people? Do you like kids? If you don't, music education is not the thing for you. And can you be committed, and can you be consistent? And these are all things that, you know, by that time you'd probably know. But yeah. So the next question, if it was a student was asking about becoming a music teacher, so what instruments do you play? Well, as a band director, you have your primary woodwinds, your flute, clarinet, your saxophone family, double reeds. However, I know a number of directors are a little weaker on double reeds. Then you got your primary brasses. You got your trumpet, French horn, trombone, baritone, tuba. Obviously, there's some variations of those. You got your primary percussion, which really percussion in general. You got snare, bass, chimes, timpani. You got so much percussion. I mean, like literally, you wake up a new day. There's a new instrument. I mean, if you didn't know this, you literally plug something in, and it has like an electronic sound. It actually is a type of percussion equipment. It's called electronophone. It's the subfamily of instrument. So, but you know what? Whatever music educator you are, depending if you go to four-year university or at least a pretty well-developed one, you're going to take instrumental ped, woodwind, brass, percussion. You'll take orchestral ped or techniques. You'll take vocal. I mean, you'll go through a lot of these. You'll take piano class. So there's a lot of instruments you learn. Now, the real catch is, what do you get really good at? Because if you learn everything and you're subpar at each, you know, you can't transfer that knowledge from one to the next. So it's a philosophical but very practical thing to be aware of. Okay, so then let's see. The next question was, do you have favorite musical period or style? Yeah, I would say style and period. Like, I love romantic music. It tickles me fancy. But I also love jazz, funk, and those kind of things. Honestly, I as you get older, you gain an appreciation for what music really is. You tend to like a lot of it. Like, I didn't like country when I was a kid. I love country. I love the simplicity of it now. And the storytelling. And I mean, like I said, as you mature as a musician, you tend to appreciate things more and more. Okay, next. Who are your favorite composers or musicians? Well, if we want to go composers, if we want to go old school, probably Beethoven. And I'm not saying this because everybody learns about Beethoven, Mozart, and Chopin, these guys. But for all the things that Beethoven did. I mean, he was around during, the French War with Napoleon. He dedicated the Eroica Symphony, then undedicated it. I mean, it's just, he went deaf. He just really was more of a well-rounded individual than I would have thought when I was younger. Because I didn't know it. And I didn't learn this until I was in 19th century Romantic music history. But yeah, Romantic period. So that was kind of cool. Love all kinds of musicians. If you're good at your craft, I like it. So, all right, next question. How would you approach teaching music theory? Well, I have a philosophy. To keep it simple. If you can keep it as simple as possible in your head, and you can understand it, and you can apply it, and you can synthesize it and tie it into other things, that's good. That's good teaching. And it's not just you, it's also, can your students do that? Does it make sense? Okay? All right, next one. How would you make learning music fun for students? Well, there's all kinds of things. I mean, you could do everything from, building relationships with the students, incorporating student leadership, going on trips where they have to work very, very hard intrinsically to have extrinsic reward. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can legitimately play games. I'm not saying you should do it all the time, because if you do too much of one thing all the time, then you're going to have a tough time. So, let me go ahead and change the screen just for a moment. Let's go ahead and change the music selection before we go into the next question. Speaking about jazz, let's add a little jazz here. Hopefully you can hear me. There we go. Got some jazz going on here. All right. So, next one. How would you handle a student who is struggling with learning an instrument? Ooh. Something we do every single day. How would you handle a student who is struggling with learning an instrument? Well, it really kind of depends on a case-by-case basis. I mean, you basically break it down into fundamentals. You always hear teachers say, work on your fundamentals. One of the great pieces of advice is, regardless if you're working on a concert, working on fundamentals is worth the time. So if you can be a problem solver and break down, take the big picture and break it down to the smallest parts, then work on those smallest parts. And if for some reason, one of the ways you're trying to teach the smaller parts isn't working, come up with 30 other ways to teach that one concept. Okay? And little by little, piece it together with additional parts. And don't have, a lot of times what happens is these kids that struggle learning an instrument, they try to do too much at one time. And as a teacher, music teacher, you often want to say, okay, we want to piece this all together too quickly. Sometimes you just gotta focus on one skill. And that's tough sometimes. You have to be patient enough to be able to do that, despite the crazy sounds that might be coming out of the kid's instrument. So that's how I would do it. That's kind of a simplified way. All right. Next question. After this lovely drink of water. There we go. Water is good for you. All right. Next one. What strategies would you use to motivate students? Well, I've been a firm believer is if you can motivate kids intrinsically, so inside, you're going to get more out of that child. They're probably going to appreciate what they do more. They're going to learn how to do something and retain it, opposed to regurgitating information. information, which a lot of classes kids do. Okay, not as much band because you're in a more kinesthetic type of class. You're learning by doing, in addition to hearing and touching and all. Well, touching is kinesthetic, but strategies. Well, if you have students that are very kind of like mentally advanced, they're probably going to need challenges. Maybe give them solos, maybe do things where they can take on leadership roles. Don't be afraid to also do that with people that maybe are in a different situation, like say maybe they're hyperactive, they have ADHD. You would be surprised. I've had ADHD kids run a sectional and you would have never known because I gave them that opportunity being a student leader and they were focused on that and they were using that energy. It was pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. So, but it really kind of depends. Most of us have classes where we have many different kinds of kids, attention spans. Now, I will tell you this, in overall, general, a lot of these kids don't have attention spans that are very long. So I'd be careful how long you do these long rehearsals without a break. And I'm guilty of this. You know, I know what I want to do. I just want to pound it out, get it good. Concert's coming up. There's not a lot of time, but you got to pace yourself, because if you base your rehearsal on what you're getting done effectively, okay, then you would definitely change things up. You wouldn't spend all your time on one thing. So, but you could do something that you just need their brain to reset. And sometimes you even need their physical part of their body to reset. So that'd be one way. Next question. How would you incorporate music history into your lessons? Music history. Try to do that whenever I can. So we're playing a new piece. Let's find out a little bit about the piece. Is there a story to it? A lot of times when you buy new music, it will have a story. Don't be afraid to, liven it up. Give it some meaning. Give it a little passion, I guess you'd say. Also, don't be afraid to use multicultural opportunities. So say it's Black History Month. Talk about African American contributions to the music world. Or perhaps, you're doing something on Asian music or, Latino music. There's a lot of opportunities to do with that. This kind of depends where you are. Also, literally, where do you live? If I was living in Louisiana, talk about Cajun music, Zydeco. If I was living in the Southwest, there could be more opportunities to talk about Native American music. There's all these opportunities. Let's get some more of that H2O. Okay, let's check out what we got next. Next question, we're just moving along right now. How would you approach teaching students with different skill levels in the same class? Ooh. Okay, music teachers that have smaller programs probably are forced with this. Okay, bigger programs probably less likely. But the question dealt with, how do you deal with teaching kids with different skill levels? Well, I would say if you are let me contrast it with the opposite. Say I had the opportunity to say my highest skilled level kids are one class, okay? My youngest or my most beginning group would be in a beginning class. My intermediates would be in the middle. I would do different skill levels of music. I would pace my teaching. So say you're teaching music, you're adding a musical term for beginners every week, right? Well, maybe the intermediate kids can learn 2 to 3 a week. Maybe the advanced kids can learn 5. And it's not everything all at once. You never want to do that to the kids. Okay, if you want them to retain it, you have to put it in context. You got to take the known, bring it to the unknown. For experienced teachers, this is probably some of the same old stuff you're saying all the time. Okay, but coming back to the question, how do you work with kids with different skill levels in one group? Well, like I said, this happens more times than you probably want. You got to kind of do the same thing as if you had different skill levels. So my recommendation, say everybody had at least a year play. All right. So then get a year, do some kind of diagnostic, figure out where everybody's at. Maybe have a series of skills, maybe some different kinds of warm-ups, some flexibility, maybe some scales. Check out how high the ranges get with a good sound, their articulation, how they tongue, how they stick, their attitude even. Do they like to read? What's their time, attention? Kind of gauge all that. Then kind of gauge what will it take to make these kids successful. Now, if we had all the time in the world, we could create tests that were, specific to the kid's skill level, that every single kid would be successful based upon, what they can do. Okay, well, that's not the real world, but you can do some of that. So in an ensemble, getting this diagnostic or audition would give you, okay, who can play the top parts, who can play the mid-range areas where maybe the clarinets only go up to a B flat rather than crossing the break. So putting those things into account and designing music appropriately, and maybe saying, hey, if you really have a huge deviation in skill level, and maybe even the content you're teaching, maybe you can have an advanced part of the class and a beginning part of the class or intermediate level. You just kind of have, like I said, if you're in that situation, it's a lot of extra work to really do a good job teaching. Okay? No one said teaching was easy. No. It can be a lot of fun, but it's not easy. It's work. It's work for sure. Okay, and by the way, I know we're talking music ed right now, but if you're coming on the stream maybe later, we're trying to fundraise for Save the Children International Charity. Please check out the website below or the QR code that I'm about to pop up right now. There it is. What a beautiful thing. So we made some money. Love to make more. Our goal is $150. Now that goal can be met right now, right this very second. It can be maybe we'll make it later. Who knows? Okay. If I would have scheduled this event probably well in advance and I didn't have it on a Friday night, there would probably be a much better chance that there'd be more people online, but that's okay. That's okay. Those people see this. Okay? They don't need to get my permission. They're your own people. You can do what you want to do. But I'll tell you what, some of these kids that are in Ukraine, Gaza, Turkey, Syria, they need help now. So if you can spare a dollar, even a single dollar, that makes a difference. Money goes a lot further in different parts of the country. So putting that out there, doing a 5-mile walk to show support, encourage contributions, talking about a little music ed, talked a little bit about some personal life, where I live, Live in Leesburg, Virginia. Beautiful place. Northern Virginia. Okay. Near, very close to DC, close to Pennsylvania, close to Maryland, close to West Virginia. We're just like close to a whole bunch of places. And people from all over the world live in this area. Live in Loudoun County. Yeah. Work in Manassas City. Living there. You know what? I've lived in California, Southern California, lived in Louisiana, lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado. America's a great place. It really is. I don't care what your philosophy is. If you don't like America, you have the option to move. Okay? But we should also be willing because, you know what? All of us are from somewhere else. So let's get it on. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and go to our next set of music questions. Whew. All right, for the record, you know, walking at ever get on treadmills, like a 2 mile an hour pace, it's not tough. It's not tough at all. But if you just do it very gradually, it will bring your heart rate up, believe it or not. I think I'm somewhere around 2 out of the 5 miles. So I'm just gonna keep on trucking. If for some reason the treadmill doesn't like me much longer, I'll give it a break and jump back on. Okay, because we're here for a good reason. We're talking music ed, we're talking charities, we're just talking. We're trying to have a good time. I'm not saying maybe I should bring an adult beverage. I'm not saying I shouldn't. I don't have access to one right now, but let's enjoy the life we have. By the way, if you're out in the town and you're just hanging out, go ahead and pop on this live stream. Show your friends. This is where a lot of times people say, smash that like button and subscribe. You know what? If you want to subscribe, great. If you don't, that's fine too. Love it when people watch, but you do what you're going to do, my friend. All right, let's talk some more music ed. All right. So, we're going to talk, let's see. Ooh, here's one. This is teaching 101 here. How would you handle a student who is disruptive? Well, shoot, any teacher can handle this, right? Wrong. I think this is one of the biggest skills, especially as younger teachers, we have to develop. Disruptive students can come in so many different forms, and not every kid is made the same. Sometimes family life has an influence. Sometimes some kid is supposed to be on medication and they didn't take it, or vice versa. I mean, it really kind of depends. What I try to do is try to say, leave the drama at the door, or leave drama for your mama or the llama. Some people like llamas, I don't know. I just try to make a little cutesy little thing. And if there is drama creeping into the band, I do not want it with the rest of the group. So sometimes I'll pull them over to the office, have them kind of cool off for a little bit. Someone had a dramatic day, like a boyfriend, girlfriend broke up. You know what? I'd rather you not disrupt the rest of the class. Take some time. Chill off. Shed a few tears. That's what you got to do. If you have a good counselor, go ahead and do it. Okay? You know, I follow a calm regimen as much as I can. Sometimes I have to raise my voice, but I try to do it in a very logical fashion. Okay? You just get angry, you're letting them win. All right, or let me rephrase that, because you can get angry all you want. But you want to keep things calm and collected as much as you can. Okay? And by the way, you can do a lot of sacrificial things and be calm. So this takes practice. Get a mentor. Get a mentee. Okay? Have someone that's good at whatever skill you're trying to do. That's going to help you. So, like I said, I try to, for me, If it's something that's very obviously it needs to have attention, I usually pull them aside, talk to them for a moment, or just let them chill. Uh, so I do tend to wait. I do not continue if there's a large group of people talking. But I also understand, I teach middle school. Middle school is an awkward age in the first place. So there's got to be some flexibility. Okay? Kids have to make mistakes to learn. At least that's how most people do. So it's something just you begin to learn as you teach and go through this profession. All right, going on. Let's see. How would you approach teaching a student with a learning disability? Okay. So there's all kinds of different learning disabilities. And right now, my wife is calling, so I'm going to let you take a look at the screen for a moment as I talk to my wife, and I'll be right back on. I'm still walking. Get back to you in 1 second. Okay. So, as you know, wife before life, or wife is life, I have to pick up my wife. So I'm going to have to cut this live stream off a little short. But thank you for joining me. If you're watching this, please go ahead, donate to the Save the Children charity, and I'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, everybody.